young researchers, which I'll try to address. So this started with my reaction to an article in LinkedIn on the mushrooming of PhDs and the quality of deteriorating research in India. So I was pleasantly surprised when the president of All India Research Scholars Association, Dr. Lal Chandra, asked me to share my views on these issues with research scholars in India. So broadly, I will be speaking how to focus on research despite problems being faced by researchers in India, and what innovative initiatives can be followed for the societal benefits also. So the main objective is to catalyze a plan for futuristic research focused on improving the quality of research in the country, with a focus on innovative solutions to improve the living conditions of people in India also. So starting a discussion on a follow-up action plan and strategy, which can be followed from inputs from the researchers. So if you look at the PhD research in India and abroad, India's R&D spending is only 0.64% of GDP, whereas China's is 2.4% and the United States of America 3.5%. So you can see we are spending very less on research and development in India. And India is the highest producer of PhDs, but the system suffers from a disconnect between academia and industry also. So the primary goal of most of the PhDs in India is a stable government or institution job, academic jobs mostly, which is becoming difficult due to limited opportunities. Whereas globally, in US and European Union, there is a high mobility system. A PhD is increasingly viewed as a qualification for high-level industry R&D, not just academia. And the system is better funded but highly competitive with clearly defined tenure track. So if you see this chart, you can see this chart. There is what are the differences in PhD research in India and abroad. I'll not read all these things, but broadly, this gives the status in India and status in USA and this thing. In India, it is primarily the path for teaching in industry, often viewed the PhD as overqualified because they mostly depend upon the low qualified manpower. And whereas in USA, Europe or other, it is a highly valued in industry, and a PhD is often the entry ticket for principal scientist or VP level roles also. And these are the salary structures in both the places. You can see they are naturally higher, and other are similar. Job security is more high in India or institution, etc. And we need the policy framework in India is basically guided by GC, CSIR, DST, and other organizations. So after PhD job situation was in India, after PhD academic positions are scarce in universities, IITs, NITs, IIMs, universities, which award thousands of PhD every year, but faculty vacancies are not filled due to hiring constraints also, plus limited positions. And there are more PhD than the jobs. So what happened? The talented scholars also head towards foreign countries for postdoctorals or to join some startups or some NGOs or low-paid jobs also. But there are many challenges. There is one option which is known as the postdoctoral option, which you all know. But in India, postdoctoral research is often regarded as a waiting period for a permanent job, whereas in Western countries, it is a first career stage to build a specific skill set. Top Indian institutes mostly prefer hiring faculty who have done their PhD and postdoctoral abroad also. So this also puts up pressure on the domestic PhDs, and there is a lack of industry and R&D also, because most of the industry doesn't employ PhD level manpower. because they don't have a R&D issues, research departments there. So what can be done? What can be followed for a PhD? By a PhD, we look for a postdoctoral positions, fellowships. There are a number of fellowships also, Fulbright, Nehru, Newton, Bhabha, DARD, etc. And spend 6 to 12 months in a foreign country, laboratory or research also, so that your skills are upgraded. And also along with, you have to build secondary skills. One is artificial intelligence, IPR, patent law, data science, etc. Then public policy analysis or technical writing. Think tanks also hire PhDs who can translate complex theory into policy level also. And also you can look for new technology startups also. So what can be done by the government? I think based upon the present situation, investment in R&D needs to be increased to compete with other global economies, and formalize the industrial PhD. In some countries, foreign countries, there is an industrial PhD also. So India needs also a formal framework similar to Denmark industrial PhD, where the candidate is employed by a company but conducts research at a university. Some PhD research also needs to be focused university-industry collaboration with funding from industry and government in terms of fellowship for 3 to 5 year period till a solution is found. And the new Anusandhan National Research Foundation, which has been established in DST, is also aiming with industry co-funding. Also, I think postdoctoral fellowship need to be created for a 2 period, at least more positions, so that after PhD one can join. And there is a special other departments also, MSMEs, that is micro, small and medium enterprises, startups also, which can modernize their technology funded by the government if a postdoctoral person is there after PhD is there, because he can focus on the particular type of research. So with further reforms, R&D policy, India could retain the talent, which I think is not there. Other is there is a new UGC 2025 shift. They have recommended that the current assistant professor recruitment process is rigid, and so they should allow cross-disciplinary hiring also. That is, implement the proposed UGC draft regulation 2025, which permit candidates to teach subjects based on their PhD specialization rather than their undergraduate degree. Okay. Allow PhDs with 5+ years of industry experience to enter academia also at higher pay grades without requiring a traditional publication history, using patents or industrial products as equivalent to journals. Also, there needs to be financial and tax incentives for private R&D in industry also, because Indian companies invest very little in R&D compared to global peers. The government must make it financially attractive to hire PhDs also. For example, some of the suggestions could be 200% R&D tax deduction. So reintroduce or expand the weighted tax deduction section 35 2AB for companies that incur expenditure on in-house R&D. So which is very important for the growth of industry also. And these are specifically tied to the salaries of a PhD staff. So you can create more jobs in the industry also. And deep tech matching grants under the ANRF, instead of just giving grants to universities, give matching grants to startups also. So if a deep technology startup hires a fresh PhD, the government matches their salary for first 2 years. So this will help in easing the situation, job situation also. Besides, I think the postdoctoral fellow positions need to be created more, and a postdoctoral fellow should be treated as not as a student, but as a employee also. So standardize postdoc employment, mandate the postdocs be classified as employees. So with all the perks of a job also, because this will help in building up the confidence and getting more jobs options. Another is 5-year bridge funding, that is for top tier PhD graduate who can be identified after selection, can be offered a 5-year independent grant that covers their salary and research costs, regardless of which institute they are from. This allows them to negotiate with universities as an asset who brings their own funding rather than just seeking a job. So for 5-year period, job is created for these fellows, and there will not be much burden on the other institutions also. Also, this, as I discussed earlier, also institutionalize the industrial PhD model, as is being done in foreign countries like Denmark and France, etc. So at present, PhD is almostly a path of teaching. The government needs formally to create a track where degrees co-sponsored by industry also, as we discussed earlier also. The mechanism could be to launch a Prime Minister Industrial Research Fellowship on the pattern of Prime Minister Research Fellow scheme. In this model, a candidate is hired by a company and they spend 50% of their time at the company and 50% at the university. So incentive is the government pays 50% of the salary and the company pays the rest. So this will improve our PhD job situation, as well as put up more research into the industry also. The Anusandhan National Research Foundation, ANRF, which has been established recently, has a corpus of 50,000 crore. And how to better utilize, it can be better utilized in this model also. And it can be modeled on Denmark's industrial PhD or France CIFRE program, which have near 100% employment rates. So we should follow these countries also to modify or upgrade our system also. So these are some of the summary of the recommended policy intervention, which I feel can be followed in academia: rigid hiring based on these degrees, skills-based hiring, tax breaks, central research service. You can create a central research service on the pattern of IAS and other services also. Grants given to institutions or portable grant to a researcher also directly, so he can join any other institution for a 5-year period also, as discussed earlier also. And direct benefit transfer, etc. So this will solve some of the problems. So now with these outlines, I think, what do you think, all of you think, whether a PhD degree is worth it also? Let's rethink. I think a PhD degree is worth it for those who are not seeking a PhD degree just as a doorway to obtain a job. They should be thinking to increase their intellectual capacity, analytical, critical thinking skills also, and want to do original research that they will be proud of for the rest of their life also. So this is very important. Everybody may not join the PhD stream. Also, those who want to contribute to science society by publishing their findings, developing new methods, policies, and products also. And those who think of joining a network of highly trained individuals at the national and international level. And also, they have the courage to take any initiative to make change in the existing system, because we have to do the change. Everybody can do that change that I'll discuss further. So, is PhD degree worth it also? Yes. When I thought of doing PhD in 1973, the scenario was similar. There job situation was similar like this also. But at that time, I got inspiration from my supervisor, Professor S. Mukherjee, who was a highly recognized researcher. And he motivated me to carry out the research. And besides, you should have a passion to do research also. At that time, there were no research facilities. There were no computers, just like for you on your desktop, no internet, no email facility, only limited libraries, computer centers, No attractive job options also, uncertain future. This I am telling you because you must think whatever the situation. When Dr. Raman did his PhD or research, he has no facilities at all. So that is another part, but one should have a passion and so there should be a real passion to do research. Overpowered me to continue the path for 4 years, achieve the degree despite hardship as are being faced by you also. So with this background and the concern of all the research scholars that we are facing this situation. So I think now I'll just share some of my experiences, how a simple idea can be. You can move the system, you can change the system also with your research, in which area you are working on this. So how a research idea can lead to be followed by other governments for improvement of our societal benefits also. So I'll be briefly discussing this as I in my introduction tell I have solar energy background. I worked on this area. So these are the some of the points which one should follow. Think also. You should have a good strategy. Then you make a policy how this can be done. Then demonstration of your research or technology, whatever you are working on. Then implement practically at a smaller scale also. It's very difficult, but not impossible. Okay. And you can achieve this within your existing jobs, doing in the institutions or planning to do that also. So what is required as in telling you, a passion is required and very serious thinking is required and a plan to implement that a PhD research, because PhD research is train you to think broadly, think seriously on problem solving also. So that training should be utilized for the benefit of the society as well as the government or whatever. This is our role also. So I'll be just discussing some of the new areas which are we have successfully followed in institutions also. I'm just taking one example. So towards sustainable energy education, research, development, and innovation. Many of you are working in different areas, but all of your research can be linked to the sustainable development goals some way or how. So in 2015, United Nations General Assembly adopted the 230 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which have 17 sustainable development goals. Okay. And building on the principle that leaving no one behind. So development for all. And the mission statement is that a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all people and the world by 2030. So your research must be focused to the benefit of the people. So these are the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17 one, no poverty like this, hunger, etc., agriculture, education, etc., energy for all, uh, uh, climate action, etc., and how to use. So all the goals are defined and they cover all kind of research. Maybe you are doing medical research, pharmacy, science, technology, etc. So they can be covered. So there is you can always link your research with these also. So there is a critical need to achieve global sustainability, energy security, climate change concerns also. And the green initiative, which we talk about, are covered under SDG 1, 7, 8, 11, 13 also, which I will be just outlining. So I'll talking about one of the SDG, Sustainable Development Goal number 7, that is energy for all. As you know, electricity and energy is not available, still available in most of the country, in our country, as well as in African, Latin countries, also worldwide also. So I'll talk one of the application which is known as the passive solar heating concepts. Passive solar means you don't utilize any machines, etc., to heat the building. In places like mountains in Himachal Pradesh or Himalayan region, the climate is cold, so we require heating during winters also. So this was one of the concepts which I found while attending conferences and workshops, just like you must be attending these conferences, one of the workshop on this passive solar, I found that this is a very good technology for design of the houses and the buildings in cold climates. So that started my thinking process, and so basically, what is passive solar? I just briefly tell, then I come. Passive solar heating is the basic, the you design your building as per the climatic condition. That is, design as per your sun path, orientation, and climate at the place. At present, you must have seen that your houses are not designed as per. If you are living in a hot climate, your houses will become very hot during summers also, and in winter they become very cold. Okay, so some of the simple technologies which can be followed easily. So we thought in that workshop, and then I worked out a plan and then implemented how this. So that this is why I am telling you this story. So there are very sun space attached greenhouses which can easily be added. One is known as solar thermal wall system, which absorb heat during daytime and release it during night time also. Then solar windows, window box heaters, thermoscientific. These are some of the systems. Besides, you require sustainable materials to be used. Today, we see most of the cement concrete structures, very heavy structures, which may not be climatically suitable. So now you think about, this was the period I told you. I thought of a solar house, how to implement. I told you, you have to seriously think about your technology, then think about how to implement. So I thought of a solar house action plan for Himachal Pradesh as back as 1994. Because, but how to implement? That was the crucial question. And so we thought that we should do in the government building first, because there is a budget for that available. Only thing is that we will provide solar design for those buildings and provide the technology. So, and in fact, it is a long story, but I could discuss this with the higher up in the government, and made the action plan, and the Himachal Pradesh was the first state to implement this technology in 1994, even before the United Nations Sustainable Goals, which talk about in 2050. Hello, 50. Hello. Another is, this is the solar thermal wall system. Somebody is saying something? Okay, this is the solar thermal wall system which we adopt easily. It is a glass before a wall, and there are openings here, door opening, and so when the sun falls on the glass, it absorbs this wall will store the heat during daytime and release inside the wall. So it will both daytime as well as nighttime space heating structure. Just showing you one. And this was the then we applied in the government building. The policy was there. So this is a HP State Cooperative Bank on the Shimla Mall, which were designed as per this technology in 1998. It has a solar thermal wall, rooftop, this thing, double glazed windows, etc. So this technology was adopted and followed. So what I am trying to tell you, okay, if you have a passion, if you have a serious thinking and plan in house, then government will also follow your technology easily also. And another is you require climate energy better database also. So we put up the solar radiation measuring equipment, temperature, weather stations also. So you have to think all the sides. The data you require must be there also, the equipment also. And then when I came to this Shulini University in 2024, we constructed a thermal wall system for a winter heating of the this thing also. So the university, we made the policy for that university, and this system could be easily, because I was knowing, so that's why we could follow up. So I'm just Another is the natural cooling concepts of the building for the buildings which can be which are in the hot atmosphere climate change. They can follow these natural cooling concepts which can be easily adopted at the, and some these technology were tested in Rajasthan, etc. also. And another is example is the traditional house where you use the two-story yoga huts also, which can be designed, and they are very comfortable during winter. And we constructed such 10 such buildings also. So solar passive building technology policy initiative also, net zero, you must have heard about these terms, all zero carbon emission buildings also. We made the policies for the government university. That means in the institution where you are working, you can work out that and try to implement some of the plans there also. So that these were followed. So because all the institutions are constructing houses, building house designs, buildings, etc. So some technology can be followed. So we thought of that also and prepared the guideline. So there was a center of energy which coordinated all these. Then this is the scene of one conference in a concentrated solar power generation, which I participated in. There I got the idea that we should also focus on concentrated solar power technologies also, which is that which can be utilized in the institutions also. We made a network. So these are the concentrated, you must have seen also. These can be used for steam cooking, air conditioning, etc. Then there are solar water air heating system. This is a 400 kilowatt system installed in the institution. So all these changes took place when you catalyze the system. Okay. So it is a 400 kilowatt grid connected solar power plant, which meets the energy needs of the university partially. Okay. And some of the R&D area. So this helps the engineering or science student other also to have a live laboratories available in the institution also. Okay. So these are some of the areas in this technology. So we identify this. So another area is the wind power, which is being utilized in coastal areas also. This is also another important, which is a multidisciplinary subject also. The photovoltaics, which is used for power generation, can be used in agriculture also. Okay, this is known as agrovoltaics. This enhances the crop growth, plant protection in harsh, hot and cold climatic conditions also. This is the agrovoltaic example. That means in the land you grow vegetables also you produce the electricity or power, which can be utilized. So this way the land utilization is there. You are not wasting any land. Another example of agrovoltaics, saving precious land resource also. And another is because the solar power plants are mostly established on the land. So it was also thought, why not to use the rivers, lakes, etc. for solar power generation. So this concept is called the floating PV solar power plants also. So this area is used for producing power also. And there is sustainable cooling system also, thermoelectric research initiative, which our center did, the thermoelectric cooling. And so these are application in buildings, PV codes and cars, etc. So whatever research you do in PhD that can utilize, that should be utilized. And so this is the chart which shows that whatever we should have a strong links with the government, higher education institution, industry, and society also. If our research is not useful for the society, then I think we are not doing actual research. So that should benefit the people on the larger scale also, plus sustainable development, economic growth also. And so this is the strategy which we have followed, which we have made. Try to create courses, research should be oriented on that pattern also. Okay. And based upon that, we have developed a guideline book, Building a Sustainable Future, which contains all the 17 sustainable development goals for higher education institution. This book was published by Association of Indian Universities and is available on their website also, and available from them also. I think most of you it contains all the 17. What are the research areas we have?
Sir, I think you are muted yourself.
So you can unmute yourself on the Google Meet. Yes, sir, here.
So you have not heard anything?
So just for a minute, it just got muted right now.
Acha, just now. So last slides or other slides were okay?
The last slide in which the map was there.
Okay, okay. Right. Sorry. Which from here?
Yes, sir. This was
Yes, sir.
completed.
Huh?
This was completed, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. This.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. From here.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry, I don't know how. So basically, what I have discussed that how we can, if you have a passion, if you have this thing also, background also, you can implement in the. So we try to implement all the concepts which I talked about in the university itself. First, we made the policy for the university so that they can easily adopt. Then some of the solar systems or energy system, and also the sustainable development goals also, how they can be implemented in various courses in different departments, education, how your research can be oriented towards that also, so that we can plan also. So that was done by, because I worked in this area. So what I'm saying that you can also, anybody can do that also, provided you have a serious passion or doing this also. Okay. So this is the map of our university also, in which different systems. So it is now being developed as a sustainable township also. Okay. So thank you very much. So I talked about whatever I felt, that what are the problems faced by the research scholars, and then some of the case study. This is one of the case study, but we have others. So now I'm open for the questions or any things which you require.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful and inspiring talk. We will now
Hmm.
begin the question and answer session. Participants are requested to kindly post their questions in the chat box or raise their hand if they wish to ask questions verbally. Once acknowledged, please unmute yourself and proceed. Please go ahead.
Hello. Hmm. So nobody
Is
has
there
any
anyone?
question? Hmm. Yes.
Sir, there is one question in the chat box. I would like to say,
You
sir,
can,
just a suggestion.
yeah.
Sir, just a suggestion on which I need advice. Whether
Mm.
CSIR Life Sciences should conduct subject-wise net examinations similar to the system in social sciences. Since most of us pursue a master's degree specialized in a particular subject rather than covering everything under life sciences, it
Mm.
creates discrepancies in my view if not specialized. They should make net as per how well a student understands research and have a good scientific temperament instead of asking rote memorized topics.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. What you can do, you can send me also. We can suggestions also in writing, so that we can incorporate some of the suggestions in. Because I think we should follow up this meeting with a policy document, which I have discussed with your president and other persons also. So from the Research Scholar Association, these suggestions can be followed also. And all of you may, whatever we discussed in the earlier thing also, minor problems are there like fellowships. So I think they can be sorted out once they are pointed out by individual who are suffering.
Thank you,
Actually,
sir.
hello.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
sir, during the PhD is the very different kind of the course or program in the. So the student when get the admission for the PhD program, many students complain that they are getting such various kind of the problem, not for the fellowship or sometimes the research work is not they're completing on time and as far as they have decided on the time. Maybe there's some the faculty or some other things, but the fellowship is the main issue. Most of the time, research scholars complain regarding they are not getting fellowship on time. Even we have requested to the funding agency, higher authority, and the ministry, at least who got the admission in PhD program, they should get the fellowship every month without
yeah,
any delay. So at least the student can concentrate, student can focus on their research work. Sometimes if I'm not getting fellowship, then how can concentrate? Because that is the scheme of the government of India, like the suppose nowadays, the, even the
yeah,
ministry, the different ministry also open the scheme under the different kind of the like scheme like Maulana Azad Fellowship, National like the OBC fellowship, single girl child fellowship. So the student have the scheme are not streamlined from the funding agency, from the ministry. So that is the main issue.
yeah. Yes, actually, I took up this problem also, all the problems which research scholars face also. So I suggested also that what can be done, it should be automatic online system also. So every where the student get directly the monthly automatically from the funding agency or whatever is there, if there are delays because of some other problem. So I think as a All India Research Scholars Association, as I suggested you, based upon this talk and other inputs also, we'll formulate a document which will be represented to government also, and we may be discussing this. We have thinking on these lines also, so that the each scholar, PhD scholars, should not face problems like fellowship, etc. Whosoever gets also, and the fellowship amount should be substantial. And the new policy government is trying to do that also, but let us point out these in a particular manner also as a follow-up this talk also. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So if there are any question, please ask and please interact with our eminent speaker. So definitely we have the plan of if we will get some suggestion, we will get some queries, even during the talk or after the talk. So we will make a plan. We can draft the letter to the particular funding agency. Even previously, we have written several letters to the funding agency or the ministry. So
Yeah,
the
I
first,
what you are saying, you must individually also sometimes
actually,
take up.
actually, sorry, restart. Oh,
Yes, sir.
Hello.
the lesson of the carbon emission. What the question is that?
Yes, so there's a question. If I can ask directly to Sham sir, if possible.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
sure.
So your solar panel one was really amazing. I just wanted to ask, like, since India has so much sunlight throughout the year because we are a tropical country, then why is it most the households still don't have these solar panels? Because first of all, a few years back it was the cost, but now it is really available due to the government have cutted the cost. So this can really help in the carbon emissions limitations. So still we are not using this solar emissions and panels really that if it is possible, so why it is there?
Actually, now the government has this was started the solar house, solar at National Solar Mission was started in 2010 also, when we thought of the earlier the solar panels were very costly. Now the cost has come down also. Besides that, the government has programs now, rooftop solar scheme, which everybody can install a solar power plant to produce his own electricity, and remaining goes to grid also. So it takes time, but I think you are right. We have sunlight also. Not it can be used for solar electricity, as well as the one I talked about. You can design your houses in such a manner so that solar passive heating and cooling, cooking, etc. A lot of applications are there which can be used. So yeah, good question. But they are doing. But India is a very large country, so not every house may be difficult, but they are progressing in the right manner. It can be done.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Thank you.
It was really knowledgeable interactions with you, but I am having some general kind of questions. Like
Yeah.
like you are talking about incorporations of all those sustainable development goals, but that might be affected by some factors. Like if we will see some economic factor, then there might be some unequal type of distributions of wealth between the among the peoples that might affect. And another one is that we Indian peoples are having some cultural and religious beliefs that might also affect these kind the achievement of the sustainable development goals. And another most factor I am thinking that might be political, that there might be some corruptions will be there in all the sectors. And if we are having some international relations that might contain diplomatic ties that can hinder this kind of problem. So according to that, what steps we have to take to aware the peoples so that they can support in obtaining all the sustainable goals?
No,
Thank you.
I think you took me wrong. Satyapal, actually, United Nations Sustainable Development, they just made them into 17 goals. There are different goals.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
removing poverty,
Yes.
education for all, energy for all. So you
Yes,
may,
another
I am
goal.
just, no, I'll just brief you that you just Google search and find out the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. I am saying that they can be followed in education, research, as well as in the development also. And
Yes,
it has nothing to do with politics, etc. It will not affect your sustainable means what? Agar if you are from a village or something, there were many practices which were sustainable, which never required anything. In agriculture also, for example, I'll just tell, they were using simple, no fertilizer, no this thing also, simple manure were used, and the food was
yes,
tasty. So why
yes,
not
yes.
to, that is also sustainable development. You put your own from your region, what are the practices, maybe different culture, different reasons have different type of sustain. You identify them, carry out research on that area. I'm just saying PhD research can also focus on that goal based upon the problem in your reason. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So
Yes, yes.
it has whatever you're saying, corruption, etc. That is a separate issue that will not happen. This thing that is a part separate issue. I am talking about you can every researcher who has different discipline can orient his research for doing some kind of a work which is useful for the society and
Yes,
which
yes.
can be sustainable for a long time without any extra income. So this will develop the country also. Maybe the United Nations have done it, but they are not forcing it to do that. But it
Yes.
is everybody can adopt that.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Okay, if that's,
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Sir, I have a question over here. Sir,
Yes.
as you have mentioned about the translating research into societal benefits, right? Sir, I would like to ask, in the current system, what truly makes a research idea practically implementable rather than just academically publishable?
Yeah. So I told you that when I started my PhD, I worked in a different area. Okay. I worked in high energy physics. Okay. And that is nuclear physics also. When I joined job somewhere, then I started working on solar energy also because that was required by those people also. Okay. So what you can do, and that idea, while I was doing research, I found a technology which could be useful for the house designs. Okay. Similarly, in your area of expertise, what is your area of expertise?
Sir, it's doctorate in pharmacy.
Pharmacy, medicine,
Yes.
etc. Okay.
Yes.
So you can find out area which is sustainable or which can be promoted for the societal benefits also. For example, you can, if I say, for example, in allopathy also, sometimes there are some of the drugs which are not well tested, they are promoted. Okay, so you can identify what are the, we had earlier different kind of systems, Ayurveda, Unani, etc., where the simple techniques were there. Why don't you do the research in that area and try to come out with the easy solution for the poor people also? Because we were not dependent upon the costly drugs or this thing. As if you have seen, so that is one of the areas on which you can, that is sustainable medicines also, cure also. For many diseases, you don't require any hard kind of drugs, etc. Do you think?
Yes, sir.
You can suggest in your area what can be done yourself. Try to learn those systems also. That will come under research area. Okay. Maybe not in your course curriculum or study, but in PhD, etc., you can identify a certain problem. I have seen such people are doing research and doing that.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
Any
there
other?
is one more question.
Yeah, sure.
Sir, in the chat box, sir, he's asking, sir, I am working with the green energy production, which is photocatalytic hydrogen production from water under homogeneous condition. And based on your findings, we found that the hydrogen produced is 96% from water, right? However, I need to extend the research to find or develop a robust catalyst to enhance the efficiency. So in this regard, is there any funding agency for financial support?
While, yeah, you could you have done PhD? Hello? Hello?
Sir, he is saying not yet.
Not yet, no? But there are funding agencies. If you have a good idea, then they can be. There are in DST, there is one scheme which is known as Young Scientist Scheme also, which I also availed when after my PhD also, that they provide fellowship small project grants also. So many projects are there. MNRE is the agency which may fund, or DST, Department of Science and Technology, also has energy where you can write a project on energy like this also. So it can be done. Or if you have some specific, you can write to me. I have given my email address and contact number also in this thing. And anybody can, I can help you in making the project proposal also, if you can be done. So a lot of funding is available. Projects can be funded once you get the, but you should have then the position in a research institution also.
Good evening, sir. So I have a question.
Yeah.
Sir, in research laboratory, many products like cancer drugs and other next generation products are developed academically, but it's not in the market. What is the problem gap in India? What the product not goes to the market? It's in a research area, not in the final product to the market.
Yeah, that's why I discussed that there should be much more interaction with the academic as well as industry also, who are producing that also. Once you make the prototype, you require some funding also for that. So there is a MSME incubator which provides some funding, project hackathon idea, MSME, in which under which you can develop a product, and if you get the project also, you have to apply for that. Look for MSME hackathon every year, and or some other grant also, where you or your institution can provide grant to develop a product. Once product is developed, tested also, so there are mechanisms by which you can take up. Although it is not on large scale, but you have to take. Then you may file a patent also for that also. If so, there are some areas in which can be done.
Thank you so much, sir. Is there any question? So I think there is not any further question. So thank you once again, sir, for your valuable time and for sharing your knowledge and experience with us today. We also extend our sincere gratitude to all the participants for their active engagement. I now request to Mr. Mushtaq Ahmed, the Joint Secretary of the AIRSA, to kindly present the vote of thanks. Over to you, Mushtaq. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Najib. Respected Professor Shyam Singh, sir, and members of AIRSA and other dear participants, good evening to everyone. On the behalf of AIRSA, I am Mushtaq Ahmed, as Joint Secretary. I sincerely thank you, our distinguished speaker, Professor Dr. Shyam Singh Chandel, sir, as a Professor and Director, Center of Excellence in Energy Science and Technology, Solani University, for his insightful and inspiring talk. Sir, reflection on the journey of research from the laboratory to real-life application and the challenges posed by researchers were truly motivating. I extend my heartfelt appreciation to the AIRSA leadership and organizing team for successfully organizing this meaningful scientific talk on the occasion of National Science Day. My sincere thanks to all participants for joining this event. Thank you so much again, sir, for this wonderful event. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much for the organizer and Research Scholar Association for giving me opportunity to talk to research fellows. And I think, have you recorded this talk?
Yeah. So, sir, we will get back soon.
Share with me also, and also I am open to any suggestion from the research scholars, any research scholars by mail, or this can be shared if they want some inputs in for their furthering their research or some idea, or later on also. So I'll be very happy. Actually, as I told you, when I read an article on LinkedIn about the plight of PhD's problems, all these problems, I thought I should talk to those people also, because I also face similar problems. But later on, you have to have this very strong passion, and all these things can be done. If I am able to inspire some of you, that will help feel me very happy. Okay, so I am a part of your organization, and anytime anyone requires some kind of input, he can talk to me, he can email me, or whatever. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
for-
thank you so much. And I would like to thanks to Dr. Shyam sir, Professor Shyam sir, because suddenly I saw your interesting, like the comment in the LinkedIn, and I thought that is the good day for our discussion with the research scholar, or the even we can discuss in future also if we require the such kind of the issue, such kind of the
Yeah,
topic.
anytime. I'm
Yeah, so
available.
I'm
Or
really
also,
thankful to you. You have considered our request for the talk, and thank you so much.
No. This is part of my already passion. I feel that I am working with my own community, and anytime I will be again coming to you. Plus, whatever suggestions I have given, plus you can invite suggestions from research scholars, association, try to compile so that we can discuss follow up further with the government and other agencies also. But it can be
Yes,
done.
sir.
It can be
Yeah.
done. So no, I think everybody who is doing research must do with the passion and very strong will also. You know?
Yeah.
Then you can achieve, do whatever you can want. Thank you
Yeah,
very
yeah,
much.
That should be the spread for the research also.
Yeah, research also.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. So leave.